Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hey guys, welcome back to Darling Talk Show, where we just don't talk about relationships, we redefine them. Okay, I am your host, Alexa Darling, and y'all, today's my first solo episode. Oh my god. Um, this is gonna be different. I have not done a solo episode since I started my show, so this is gonna be very interesting. I definitely want to talk to you guys about something that has, changed me. And, I definitely want to answer some questions as well that some of you guys have asked me on Instagram. So shout outs to everybody who sent in the questions. There is no wine today. Just FYI, we are sober minded today, okay? Because we're going to talk some good things. And cannot wait to get started. So, anyways, all right, y'all. So, first things first, I wanted to talk to you guys about the thing that happened to me as soon as I gave my life to Christ. So if you guys follow me on social media, you know that last year around May, I got baptized. And funny enough, when I got baptized, I just thought that my life was going to be so much better, that nothing, I was not going to go through any more issues in life, that everything was just going to be super sweet and smooth. Okay. And honey, that was a lie. It was a whole lie. I literally went through the wilderness. Okay. And I believe that, and I know for sure that was God, testing my faith, because my faith wasn't as strong as it is today. And I had to go through all of those things to really believe in God and to see, the things that God can do. And granted, after everything that went down, which you guys will see that, I'm pretty sure you guys by now, you guys already watched that episode. But it was a lot going on. And granted, I still want to let people know, and I highly encourage you to get baptized as an adult. I think it's very important to, you know, acknowledge, right, your, like following Christ, and not just because you got baptized when you were little, but no, it's okay. And it's very important that you do it when you're an adult. It's not going to be easy, of course, not an easy walk. And I still struggle with certain things. I'm not perfect. I'm human. And that's one of the things that I take pride in, knowing that with my platforms, I like to show me being human before anything. And I mean, not being perfect, because I'm not perfect, but someone that is constantly trying to grow and trying to be better, right? Now, with that being said, some of you guys asked a few questions on Instagram, and I do want to answer those questions. So I am going to read them. The first question that someone asked was, what is your favorite activity to help you reset when you're feeling off balance? Now, this is a good question. Whenever I do feel off balance, my favorite activity will be getting out the house. And that is as simple as that is. Like, it could be maybe me going to my friend's house, maybe trying to find something to do, go to a wine bar, maybe go play volleyball, like anything that allows me to be social and active. That is what I like to do, only because I believe that when you're at home and when you're feeling off balance and you're just sitting at home too much, or maybe you're going through something and you just sit at home with your thoughts, I think that it makes it worse, in my opinion, at least for me. So I try to get out the house, get active, be social. And I think, the people around you, your friends, family, they play a big part in that as well, right? Because if they know that you're going through something or you're feeling off balance in whatever, for whatever reason, they should help you get out the house, Now, I think it depends for everybody. If you're someone that is more like, I like to stay still when I feel off balance, that might work for you, and that's actually okay. But for me, yeah, I just like to get out the house. Second question is, what made you take your walk with God seriously? This is a great question. Um, Let me get right before I answer this one. So I have always been a woman of faith. I've always believed in the Lord since I was, a kid. Because growing up, my mom, my grandmother, they would go to church back home in Honduras, but they went to the Catholic church. So I grew up going to Catholic church back home. So I always had an idea of God and, all the things. However, when I became 2023, if I'm not mistaken, 2023, towards the end of that year, I told myself, like, hey, next year my goal is to get closer to God. I wanted to start going to a church. It was something that, like, my spirit just asked for. And at the time, I remember one day I was scrolling on social media and I saw that Blueprint, which is the church I go to, they were marketing the church. And I was like, oh my God, like, it looked like a place where I belong. I could see that, like, the marketing got me, right? Like, as a marketing girly, the marketing for the church got me. And I'm like, I would love to go see the church. And so I went to the church and I just stuck. I got stuck to it. I felt like I belonged there. I felt like it was beautiful to see so many young people praising God. And that was like what caught my attention the most. And I just continued to go to church. And then, like, when they first had their first baptism day, I did it. I did it, and honestly, I loved it, right? So, but if for me to give you like a better answer to that, because I know that was like very surface level answer, I honestly was going through so much emotionally. Like, I was angry. I was angry at my father at the time. I was just angry at everybody. There was a lot of things that I was going through emotionally, that my relationships were not thriving, right? Because I was angry at my own father at the time. I was younger. I was just like, it was just a lot going on. And I'm like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to get rid of this feeling by myself. And so, I just started going to church, and I would read my Bible here and there, but I wouldn't study. You know what I mean? Like, I would just read it, but I wouldn't study it. And once I got to study it, I realized how fun it is to read the Bible. Like, the Bible, the stories in the Bible is insane. Okay. Like, if you know, you know, but that's kind of how I got into it. And it's been a great journey. It has not been easy at all, but it has been fun. And I just like the fact that I'm like growing spiritually. I have done a lot of things, a lot of changes in my life, and church really keeps me grounded. And that's why I go to church. I hope I answered that question, Rel. Let me know in the comments if I did. Okay, next question is, God placed you here for a reason, but what do you think your purpose is? Wow, that's a deep question right there. Honestly, my purpose. I definitely think that my purpose is to inspire individuals, and by me just sharing my journey, right? I've been on to add to that as well, I believe that I have a voice, and I believe that my purpose is to use my voice to help others. I can meet a random person today and sit with them, talk to them about something, and they're gonna open up to me, and then I just start pouring into them. That could be me pouring into them for whatever that they're going through, right? And I found that is something that I do easily, and people actually listen to me, which is actually like an honor, because I know not everybody listens to everybody, right? You have to have a special gift for people to be able to listen to you. And I think that is my purpose on this earth. And so that's why, even with my show, people watching right now, I want people to like actually listen to what I'm saying. I would like for people to listen to what I'm saying and to get something out of it, right? Like, not just for play, but for actually like, okay, I want to help people. And I think that's my purpose, to help individuals with their confidence, with whatever that they're going through. I'm not a perfect person. I like to share my struggles so that I can inspire other people, and knowing that, hey, you can go through a lot of things and still come out of this struggle winning, right? So that's like what I want to, I think that's my purpose. Yeah. Yeah. Next question is, what's one mistake in a past relationship you've learned the most from? Ooh, one mistake. One mistake that I've learned from. This is a good question. I think that for me in the past relationships is that I've learned from is that I give too much of myself too fast, especially in romantic relationships. I give so much of myself too fast that I end up like mad at myself when things do not work out, because sometimes people do not give me the same energy. And what I've learned is that when you are getting to know a person, take your time, right? Like just take your time. Don't rush. I think that rushing has definitely been a pattern in my past romantic relationships. And because let's say I'm eager for, to be with this person, or I'm eager to be loved by this person. I rush the process so fast. And then when it doesn't work out, I end up mad at myself and sad and broken. So yeah, I definitely think that's one of the biggest mistakes or a pattern that I've seen in the past that I like now I am no longer doing that. Like even right now as I currently date, like I'm just, taking my time and just, of course, putting God first, asking God for guidance and just taking my time, because if it's for me, it's going to be for me. But at the same time, fostering those relationships and being open, when I mean by taking your time, I think I'm not saying like you can't, be yourself, but just not like pressuring the other person into being with you, because they should actually want to be with you, period. So, just taking my time. Definitely learned my lesson for sure. The next question is, what is something you're still healing from? Oh my God. Honestly, y'all, I think I'm still healing from like relationship trauma, as far as like when I'm meeting a new person, like having that anxious attachment there. Like, like when sometimes I find myself like maybe like, oh, this person haven't texted me in a long time, or maybe it's been hours and I haven't heard from them. And I start thinking the worst. Like, oh my God, maybe they don't like me. I must be ugly to them. Maybe they think I don't know. I just start thinking all this crazy stuff. And that person might not even be thinking that at all for me, right? So I'm still kind of healing from that, because I do know that it definitely has to come from my upbringing and things like that. And definitely want to go back to therapy, because therapy is very important. And, just learning that, hey, I am worthy. You know what I mean? Like, let's just say that person doesn't want to talk to me. That's on them. That's their loss. Respectfully. But no, for real, like, I think that is something that I have to constantly remind myself, like, hey, it is okay if they haven't talked to you in 4 hours. It is totally okay. Not that it is okay per se, like, oh my God, like that's the right thing that they're supposed to do, but me not having to worry about it and me not having to create this anxious thing in my head, it's fine, That's what I'm working on. All right. Next question is, who is someone you owe an apology to but haven't reached out to yet? I think at this point in my life, I don't owe anybody an apology. I think I have done a great job this year alone. Q1 of this year was that, like, amending relationships with past friends and people that I needed to talk to again. There is one person that I actually spoke to that I am not going to give you guys too much detail about, because y'all just going to see coming soon, a surprise. But yeah, I don't owe anyone an apology. I think that I've done a great job at, forgiving people and apologizing. That is something that I struggled with when I was younger, but I think as I've gotten older, I understand. And then also getting closer to God, I've learned that forgiveness is super important, right? Like, life is too short. Literally, we're here right now, and then tomorrow we may not be here. And I just don't want to have or hold anything with anybody, any, negative feelings towards anybody. Like, I want to be straight. I think the one person that I really struggled with forgiving was my father. And thank God, my dad and I have actually, like, I spoke to my dad 3 days ago. Praise God to that. Okay. Hallelujah. God is so good, because y'all know I have been open with you guys about that relationship. And I spoke to my dad on the phone, and I saw him last Sunday. So yeah, I mean, things are getting better. And I think also with just knowing that my spirit feels at peace, because I'm not carrying or holding bitterness, angerness, like, I'm not upset at anybody. If anybody's upset with me, that's on them. Honestly and truly. I also do believe that anybody from my past, let's say maybe old friends and things like that, I don't think that they deserve an apology from me. I don't. I just think that sometimes in life, it's okay to go your separate ways with certain people, and you can forgive them, but you don't have to necessarily, like, be friends with them again. I definitely think that not everybody's supposed to be back in your life from your past. So you got to be mindful of who you allow back in your space from your past. Because I did that before, where I tried to bring somebody around back in my life who their relationship didn't work in the beginning, and then came back and it still didn't work out. So that was just like, and of course I didn't console God either. I didn't tell God, like, God, is this person for me? Are we, what do you want from this friendship? Didn't do that. So I think you gotta be mindful of that. That's those things as well. So don't feel bad if you have people from your past who you haven't talked to again. You can forgive them for yourself, but it does not mean that you have to have them back in your life. So I'm actually at peace with that. The people who are meant to be here are here, really, and I'm actually happy about that. That concludes the questions, y'all. I don't have any more questions. I want to say thank you to everybody who actually asked the question. Stay tuned for more solo episodes, because I actually enjoy doing this. Yeah. If you guys would like for me to talk about anything as well, please let me know in the comments. Send me a DM, whatever. You know what I mean? Also, if you would like to be on the show, if you go to my Instagram, there is a link in my bio, and you can click on that link, and it's going to ask you if you are interested in being on the show. Fill out the form. It's going to give me all the information about you, why you want to be here, why would you want to talk about. Because granted, just not anybody can come on here and talk about it. You gotta be something that's gonna be good. All right, just saying. So if you do want to be on a show, you can fill out the form, and then of course I vet those people who I think will be a great fit to be on the show, and we go from there. Also, if you are someone that has a product or a service and is looking to showcase that product, you need ads, also let me know. The same link has a form as well, and that way we can kind of go about it. And I would love to showcase your products, honey. Just let me know, okay? So that concludes this episode. Thank you guys so much for staying here, watching this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up here and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.